Now, I understand that my last few Senran Kagura discussions haven't been the best. I acknowledge that. Hopefully this one is better. Anyway, greetings everyone. This is Potato Hedgehog, back again with another Senran Kagura discussion. This particular discussion has been on my mind for quite some time. The potential final battle between Asuka and Homura. Senran Kagura has had a lot of heated rivalries in the series, but one I would like to talk about in this video is the rivalry between Asuka of Hanzo Academy and Homura of Homura's Crimson Squad. Yes, they may be friends, but if you think about it, their rivalry always shows up at some point in this franchise. Asuka and Homura always seem to cross paths in the series, and they always seem to duke it out. It's destiny for them. Good must always fight evil and see who comes out on top. They may consider each other their respective strongest friends, but we, as the audience, never really see the outcome of their battles. In this discussion, I would like to bring back an idea for a potential Senran Kagura 7. Specifically, the end of the franchise as a whole. Well, the main story, that is. If Senran Kagura 7 were to really bring in Shin and the end of the world as we know it, we all know that Asuka and the main teams are going to win. They always do. But what happens afterwards? Asuka and Homura. If you think about it, before the Sony timeline, Estival Versus and Shinobi Versus respectively, were introduced, Asuka and Homura always seemed to fight each other at the end of the game after the final boss as something extra, just to see how strong they've gotten over the course of their adventure. Now, at the end of Senran Kagura 7, if Shin were to be unleashed and Asuka and the others defeat him, Asuka and Homura would of course test themselves against each other for one last time. The scene is set in a field. Asuka and Homura are at opposite ends of one another, staring each other down. Nothing is said. Aside from the wind blowing in the background, is absolute silence. Their teammates and mentors standing in the distance, watching them with intrigue, interest, determination, and pride, knowing that their leaders are about to see who's the strongest. Asuka says,
Homura, seems like you and I are going at it once again.
Homura simply nods and replies, I'm gonna win for sure this time, tits for brains. They slowly walk towards one another. Once they reach each other, they share a quick but caring embrace, signaling that no matter what happens, they'll always be their respective strongest friend, no matter if they're good or evil. This will be their final battle, to prove which of them is stronger. At this point, you would be prompted to select who you'd play as for this battle, like in Deep Crimson's extra boss fight. If you chose Asuka, you would fight against Homura. If you chose Homura, you would fight against Asuka. The fight would play out like a normal boss fight, with Asuka and Homura in their base forms using only little of their power. However, the fight would kick up once the opponent is at low health. Asuka and Homura would transform into their alternate forms respectively, ramping up the difficulty even higher, showing that they don't want to lose. Depending on who you chose prior to the beginning of the fight, there would be a special ending. If you chose Asuka, Homura would be defeated. Homura flies back to the ground, losing her crimson state. She and Asuka are very winded from their battle, but Asuka smiles, knowing that she can finally put her rivalry with Homura to rest. For now, of course. She walks over to Homura, outstretching her hand. She giggles and says,
Hey, don't give up on me now, strongest friend.
Homura, while exhausted, smiles and takes Asuka's hand. She retorts, I'm not gonna lose to you next time, Asuka. Just you wait. Signaling that they may have battles in the future. If Homura won the fight, Asuka loses her deep shadow state. Homura is confused as to how she won, but she accepts it either way. She finally summoned her willpower and beat Asuka. Everything had come full circle. She walks over to Asuka and outstretches her hand. Hey, I ain't done with you yet, tits for brains, she says. Asuka smiles and takes Homura's hand. She says,
Looks like you beat me, Homura, but I'll get stronger someday.
The two of them acknowledge their strong friendship and share a warm embrace, thus ending the game end their rivalry. I think this would personally be a powerful note to end on, as it would end Asuka and Homura's rivalry despite their differing alignments and ideals. Despite it all, they remain strong friends until the end. What do you guys think? Let me know how you would end Senran and Kagura if 7 is the end of the franchise. And please try to be civil about it because I tried to put a lot of effort into this theory. So, just let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in another Senran and Kagura discussion. Till next time!